check. Welcome everyone to VR Jungle, a Havoc podcast. This is episode number 10. I am Geralt, your host, and we have the lovely Pickle Ostrich right next to me for the co-host. How you doing today, Pickle?
I'm doing all right. I woke up a little too late today. I woke
Yeah.
up at like 2 hours ago.
Nice.
Yeah, so I slept in quite a bit, but
Yeah.
know.
I went to the dentist today and got my very first cavity taken. I had like this little black spot that they just said, "Hey, we got to get rid of this, or it's gonna get worse." And they put a needle in my mouth, and I didn't realize like how messy it was gonna be with my whole mouth. Like I couldn't feel it at all. It felt like it was gone, and I was like trying to drink water. I was like dribbling that water
Yeah,
out
it's
of my mouth.
yeah, that's your first cavity?
Yeah,
You haven't gotten
I'm
any?
29 years old, and I got my very first cavity. It
Wow.
must have popped up, during COVID. I gained the COVID 100 pounds, and also got a lovely cavity probably from, I think it's probably because when I was at work, I brushed my teeth like 2 times a day. Well, now you're just getting out of bed, and it's like I'm at least getting 1 time a day, and it's like, probably wasn't a good idea. No one cared about my stinky breath besides me. My wife didn't like it, but oh well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was fun. That was eventful. That was new for me. It was very interesting.
Yeah, I'm getting numbed for the first time. For sure. I've gotten a lot of cavities. I'm not the best about it, to be honest. So that's kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good that it's only your first, though.
Yeah, and it was just a little dot, so they just had to cut into it a little bit. It's not like I had to get like a
Right.
major like root canal or anything extreme like that. And then
Yeah.
I chipped my tooth when I was little, and so some of it went away, and so they refilled that. So that's kind of cool that it's kind of back even again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, how's the VR world been treating you? The metaverse. Oh, by the way, also what we can talk about that. So Oculus had a new update. Do you realize that the Meta symbol is now popping up every time you open up your
Oh
headset?
yeah. Yeah, I got that a lot. Like probably like 2 weeks ago or
Really?
something, because I factory reset my headset. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it like updated earlier or something. I'm not entirely sure what.
I feel like we got off like last week's podcast, and I saw like some blue coming out of my headset, and I'm just like, man, that's really weird. I go, crap. There's gonna be an update, and I don't know what's up with my Oculus. It doesn't like let me go to my main screen and say, hey, you have an update. It literally gives me like this chipped look, and it starts giving me a downward arrow. And last time
Yeah.
I didn't know what that meant, and so I like tried to hurry up and shut my thing off. No, I had a factory reset the whole thing. So now when I see it, I go, well, shit. I guess I'm not playing for. I just wait. I plug it in.
Yeah.
And I walk away until it turns on now, and it comes back on now. So I'm just like, but why does my update have to happen like that? It's very annoying.
Yeah, they like distribute it like randomly too. Like some people will get it a lot faster than others.
Yes. I don't like it at all how mine updates, because like anytime I go check for updates, I'd rather it just like me have to check for it and then I have to download it. But sometimes it's just like boom, you're welcome, and I'm just like, wow, guess I'm not playing for a hot minute.
Yeah.
And it's always
Yeah.
when I have really important matches too, every single freaking time.
Yeah, I haven't had that issue too much, but that's because I play later into the night. If you couldn't tell by that yawn, and me waking up super late.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore. I'm back to waking up at 5 in the morning, so my late night VR days during the weekdays is over. I played VR poker until like 5 o'clock in the morning though, Friday night though.
Yeah.
I was taking everyone's chips.
Yeah. He's just robbing everybody.
Robbing everybody. There's
Cleaning house.
like I get on there sometimes and just play like their tournaments they have. And I wish they would wait to let it fill up to have like a bigger table. It's always just 3 people, and like so I usually do like the $100,000 tournament, and usually if you the most like winning it's ever gonna be is like 200,000. Well, I got lucky and hit the 400,000, and I actually won that one, so that was pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah, you got the big bucks from.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
somehow I still wake up the next morning with only 38,000 coins in my pocket, so I have no clue what happened.
You just blow it all right after.
I guess, man. Somehow I did. So yeah, so that was good, and what's I know that you've been checking the VR news. I've been checking the news. I don't know
hmm
what's going on with the news besides the fact that they're having, like you said, some public education stuff that are developing here and there. But for the most
Yeah.
part, we almost have to like go a little bit outside the realm of VR. And I know that you found an article if you want to talk about that.
hmm Yeah, so the article I found was about AI, like AI making these synthesized faces that which synthesize.
You there? I think I just lost you. Oh no! So while he figures out what he's doing, I think I can read what he is talking about. Let me pull up the article. So basically, it's AI synthesized faces are indistinguishable from real faces. So I think he was basically going to say that they did this kind of like brought a whole bunch of people in. They said, "Hey, look at these faces right here. How many people can you recognize that are real compared to fake?" And a lot of people actually failed to actually distinguish which ones are real or fake. And oh, there's two of me now since he's gone. So let me see if I can just switch back to this desktop view. So there's still gonna be two right there until he gets back. I think he just kind of logged out. But it's kind of fun seeing two of me. So basically, this is just deep fake faces, and what we were gonna kind of tie in. So here's like the faces that they were showing, like how many of these were real compared to fake, and it's very interesting that to know that we have to be worried about what's real or fake when it comes to internet. But it's a very true thing, especially when it comes to a world leader kind of looking into saying something to the whole entire United States, and it's really not him. So that could be pretty scary and pretty interesting. But the one thing that I wanted to bring in, and hopefully he comes back in pretty soon. Let's see if I can just, because I don't know the screen I can switch back. That's just gonna hide me. But let me see if I can't do this. Let me just call this on technical difficulties and switch this to me, to my big face right now. See if I can't message him really quick and see what's going on. So his internet crashed, so for the fun time, you're going to see two of me. Let me see if I can put this perfectly right. But the fun thing that I was going to say about all this is that, so when you do the VR, you can go in now soon for the metaverse and get your whole body scanned. And I was just going to basically say that if you have your full body scanned, pretty much you put your face out there on the internet. Like imagine my face right here, obviously in the metaverse, but people can now take that, even if it's not a cartoon, it's still a digitized face of me, and possibly get in meetings and calls and say, yeah, I'm him. Here's his fake ID, whatever, and here he comes back.
All right, I'm back.
Hey, it happens. It's the fun of internet. I just been kind of spieling off and trying to take over what you're talking about. So basically, I told them, finished off your sentence about how these faces are. They put them in a panel of people, and they saw which ones were unrecognizable compared to ones that were recognizable. And the percentages were pretty bad because I even have it pulled up right now. Let me go here. So these are all the faces that they looked at to see if they were real or fake. Did I lose them again? I think I lost him again. I don't want to go starting soon. So hopefully he stays frozen and he doesn't get pushed away from me again. But there's my big face again. This is a fun podcast, this one. So let's move on from that. Maybe we'll circle back around from that. But while he's gone, I might as well just go over the esports world until he comes back, and then we'll come back to the news. So let's start over here with the Diamond Division. It looks like the Supreme Uprising is still number one. Can I zoom this in or not? No, it doesn't like me zooming it. So Supreme Uprising is at 1, Cobra Cartel is at 2, and we have Cryptic Flow at 3. And yeah, it seems like the Cobra Cartel looks like Supreme Royal is coming back up. So it'd be interesting to see the fourth and fifth here because it seems like they're flopping around. I thought Cobra Cartel EU was up here, but even though in the top 10 it looks like Supreme has 3 teams up there, and so does Cobra. So that's pretty interesting, and I'm still very interested to see what Vortex is going to do here since they used to be Hexalink, and they finished number 2 last season. So I'm really interested to see kind of how they go through this season. I'm kind of interested on why they're in that placement, but maybe I'll have to tune in and see how they're playing. But from there, the gold division that could potentially go into the diamond division. It looks like they're changing up their brackets. The top 3 right here is the ones I'll go over. You have the Crypto Knights. You got the Triforce. I'm not going to mention that. I don't know how to say that last one. And then you have Tombstone. It looks like Havoc Storm, which is our team, kind of went out of the top 3. I believe they were 2 or 3 last week. So it looks like some standings happened there. It looks like these are all pretty close for these 2, 3, and 4. So we'll see if they make it back up in there. So we have Dash League. I don't think that in Dash League that their standings is accurate because all these numbers that I saw from last week, they seemed pretty much to the T the same. But I will show you at least there are a whole bunch of teams. What's up, Pickle? You back?
Yep, I'm back. You can just keep doing the standings while this figures itself out.
Yeah, I just went over. I'm just doing the esports news really quick
Mhm.
until we get you figured out, and then at least we'll have the esports stuff out of the way. So
Mhm.
basically, with this, these are all the matches that happen, and you can go out to dashleague.games anytime of the week to see all these matches. A whole bunch of them are actually broadcasted, and they're pretty interesting matches. I think Dash League is a very interesting league, just because it is very esports like. You're jumping around, shooting each other constantly, and they do the what's the thing? They do like a payload mode as well. Is like their main
Oh
game
yeah.
they play, which is pretty cool. And so our team is let me see if I can't get their logo right here. This is their logo. Can I get zoom into here? No, nothing wants to zoom in right now. So right here's UNSC. There it goes. UNSC is Havoc's team. They played 2 different teams this week and they won both of them. So definitely a good job on that. I guess they sweeped them pretty well. So hopefully they stick with that. And then the other things we can talk about is Virreal. It looks like none of their leagues have started. I know Contractors League was supposed to start this week, but it's been postponed till next week. So hopefully more to come next Monday on when games are coming, stuff like that. I guess their website was crashed down for a little bit, and so that's what they're blaming it on. But the only thing I really want to touch base on for VRML, besides this is another great league if you want to be part of something really big, is VRML. They have pretty much every major game for esports. And one I wanted to touch base with was Echo Arena, just because they just finished up who's going into their Masters, and our Havoc team actually made it into the top 10 for Masters, so that's a pretty big deal. But for the other thing, the top 3 for this is Ignite, the Bite of 87, and Instinct. And if you want to ever check out any of them, they also do casting as well. And these matches, the casters are probably, out of any game that I've ever watched, Echo VR probably has the best casters. I don't know if you agree with that or not, Pickle, but they get
I
really into it.
I'm not sure. I haven't really seen a whole lot of VRML, but watched some.
I keep clicking
There
stuff.
was what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it's kind of funny how I don't know if you know the reference, but that one team, the Bite of 87, that's a Five Nights at Freddy's reference. Yeah, yeah, I don't know.
That's funny. So yeah, I mean, there's really not much for league play right now going on. I know Virreal has some stuff coming up, but like I said, that all depends on when they really start their season. And then the only thing really active is Dash League, and then Echo is always running around and stuff, and then Onward is
Mhm.
about to start some stuff up. But it always seems like this time of the year is kind of dead. It always seems like anything with game related, news related, everything is typically from like
Yeah.
almost like August to December for some reason. I don't know why they, you know, maybe because summertime, a lot of people don't want to do a whole bunch of shit. I get it, but what's the
Yeah.
point of being a pro player if you don't want to play all year round?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I
anyways,
don't know.
since it seems like you're up and running pretty well, we can kind of touch base back on what we were talking about. If you want to kind
Mhm.
of pick up where you left off, I talked about the most part about how they did the panels. I showed the faces and the percentages.
Mhm.
So if you have anything else you want to kind of touch base with,
Yeah. I mean, I guess the part that would be missing then is just like you know, how is this relevant to VR, and that means that, like, you can have, like, maybe AI generated characters and stuff that you can just kind of throw together, and they look convincing,
mm-hmm.
they'd be more convincing. This is obviously 2D and not 3D, but it this is like the foundation, that they could build off of,
Yes,
and
exactly.
they could make something like pretty cool out of it.
Well,
So it'll be,
have you
yeah.
seen the guy on TikTok that does the deep fake of Tom Cruise?
No,
Dude,
I didn't use TikTok.
it is almost convincing that it's Tom Cruise, and I don't think it is. I'm almost positive it's not Tom Cruise.
Right.
And there's been deep fakes out there of like back when Obama was president, they had a huge deal where they had someone deep fake his face, and I don't know if national security jumped on that because I haven't really seen anything political that's been deep faked, since then. But obviously,
Mm.
people try and get stuff out there all the time. Um, but I think anymore, if you put your face on anybody, um, is considered deep fake. Like right now with the Will Smith slapping Chris Rock thing, they took Will Smith's face and put it on Chappelle's face during his skit when he's like telling a joke. He's like, "What does a 5 finger hand look like?" And then he goes, "What?" He goes, "Smack." And I don't know if that's exactly how it goes, but it goes around that reference where he just like smacks him and it has Chris Rock's face on it, slapping him. And it's probably the best meme that I've seen so far is that one. So
Hmm. Yeah, I've seen some. I've seen one that was like, it was like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, and he was he got he got slapped. Or wait, was it? And then he like slapped him back, and he went like flying and.
yeah, just like off topic, and there was someone mentioned that. Like, what if The Rock is the one that said that? I don't think Will Smith would go up and slap his freaking.
Yeah, you don't slap the Rock.
Especially
Rock will
when he
literally
would be
snap you
talking.
in half.
Especially when he'd be talking about like a bald woman when he's also a bald man. So it's like,
Yeah.
jeez, that still blows my mind with that. It's been like what almost like a week now since that's happened. It's still the biggest thing people are talking about.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of news. Apparently, he like dropped out of the Academy Award stuff, like out of everything with the deal with it. So, uh, very interesting
Really?
there. Oh yeah, I guess he like dropped out of being part of their group, their clicky group they have there. So that's pretty
Hmm.
interesting. But yeah, but the deepfake stuff. Just imagine like VR chat, like how crazy that is. Just imagine like next 5-10 years, you're gonna have a whole bunch of like presidents walking around telling people to nuke countries and stuff in VR chat.
That's kind of already a thing, I'll be honest.
Probably you would know. I know
Yeah.
you. I know you live a good part in there.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, I've seen some things
you've
in
seen
VR
some
chat.
things, but yeah. Deepfake is definitely blows my mind, and it like another thing I wanted to touch base on before we switched out of the deepfake stuff. So you know the show Black Mirror.
Hmm.
So there's a show where they're like a good portion of the season that happened a couple years ago. I think it's been like 2 years now since the last season that came out. But they did a lot of stuff with like VR stuff and AR stuff. Basically about the world switching to where you can pretty much block people out of your life through your
Mhm.
eyes. And there was one episode where the guy was uh, trying to be a cop in someone's brain. They end up finding out that he was the one that actually did the murder. All this crazy stuff, and like he walks out, and like no one can. He couldn't see anyone anymore, and he was blocked to the whole entire world. Like,
Oh.
so just imagine like you're walking around eventually with these eyes that are pretty much AR contacts. Is who knows how far LASIX will ever get, and you're walking
Mhm.
around, and it's almost like I'm bouncing around like crazy because I have so many things in my head that people that do this actually like shows. So they do that where they block people and
Yeah.
they can also change the face. Well, there's a movie that has done it, and then also the Alter Carbon also does a form of like changing their visual effects and stuff like that with AR.
Mhm.
And so yeah, there's multiple games about I mean movies that are about that, and that's a very real thing that could happen. That AR type stuff would be kind of creepy. So I definitely think that that show is on point. Like that whole last season, like really touched base with a lot of things that we see coming out.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it'll be like kind of interesting to see where everything goes and how everything will shape up with all the like AR and VR. Hopefully it's for the good, Facebook running trying to monopolize the metaverse, who knows, but
Yeah, as long as it doesn't turn out to be like that one Black Mirror where your social status and how much money you have is based off of how many people give you likes every day.
hmm
That was an interesting one. Like
yeah.
imagine going to get a cup of coffee and you can't get one because you're a 2-star person. There
Yeah.
would never be a Karen ever again.
Yeah, who knows? Might work.
Yeah, and so with that, with talking about social statuses and stuff, and like talking about AR coming in the future, is this interesting
hmm
article that I found. Let me switch this to the desktop. Is virtual reality can induce mild and transient symptoms of depersonalization and derealization, study finds. And that is pretty scary. And I guarantee, like without a doubt, that this I'll have this article in the description if
The
you want to
links.
read more of it. But I pretty much we don't really have to read through this article without even just talking starting soon, without really understanding. Like, there's plenty of times where I've been in VR and you get out and you're just like, it is. I could definitely see a younger kid, a developing brain, because even though
hmm
they say only 13 and up is supposed to be in this, I know for a fact there's some 6 to 8 year olds just in there just going woo with some gorilla tag, just slapping cheeks in
Yeah.
there like mad people. Um,
hmm
but yeah, so just imagine these kids that are growing up with this VR world. Like they're not going outside. They're not socializing. They're not really seeing people in real life. Is it going to
hmm
help people actually socialize in real life because they're just going to tune themselves in and like, hey, this is just we're in the Matrix type shit and like this isn't real. So it might help them, or is it going to like make them so standoffish that the real life is going to scare them?
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be that like there's like a lot of there's definitely a lot of kids in VR, but I think I've heard things like that if oh man, my brain is not working today.
Well, you just woke up. That's a good excuse.
Yeah,
You're
but
living you're living in the Asia time zones.
yeah, I probably am, yeah. But oh man. Oh jeez. Oh yeah, the kids like some kids like it messes with their motor functions if they play VR before
You really you think it's improving it or
No, I
destroying it?
think it could throw it off a bit. I think I saw something on that,
But here's the
Don't
thing,
quote me
though.
on it, but
Why would VR do that when they have studies out there that show that PC gaming and console gaming actually improves your hand-eye coordination.
Well, maybe it's like I don't know. Think about like doing something and being uncalibrated. Like it kind of would throw that off. And like, say for example, you use a joystick to walk. Maybe you're used to walking. You don't feel like the stuff in your like the liquid in your ear jostling about or whatever.
Hmm.
I think it was something like that. I'll see if I can find what I was talking about. But
Yeah, and I think it's only going to be for a short period of time until they start bringing more haptic stuff on, like haptic. Like the suit will change things, the gloves will change things, the actual station where you can walk in with the slip shoes or socks, whatever.
hmm
Um, I
Oh
think
yeah, like the Omni, like
yeah, the
the
OmniTrack.
the treadmills and
I
all that.
feel
Yeah.
like once we get more closer to Ready Player One type setup, then yeah, I could definitely see motor function skills change a little different. But I mean, the good thing about VR though is that compared to sitting down playing World of Warcraft for hours on end, eating Cheetos and drinking Mountain Dew and getting, you know, like that South Park episode where they're just like fat tubs of goos, freaking just go, come on, get on right there, and they're acting like freaking, like that. But at least these guys are, these guys and girls out there are playing games like Knock and
Right.
Echo
And
Arena
Pop
and Pop
One,
One, like that's more calories that they are burning than they would, that they would have ever, not have burned anyways of sitting down and watching TV. And so that's the good
mhm.
thing is that we have probably the most active Americans in history since, probably since the 1970s, you know.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
like
because we got like yeah, VR's nice, but you'll get a lot of kids with chicken legs because it's all in the arms.
yeah, especially with Knock, you're just gonna have one jack shoulder from always sliding like this constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I can't tell you like my shoulder when I was playing Knock. I was like, I went to go play that one day. I was like, "Geez, Louise, I'm gonna throw my rotator cuff out."
Yeah, I know Finger and Beat 'em on, which for people who don't know, they're members of the Larsenauts team. Had experienced similar things with their shoulders and
Yeah,
like
like man, it was really. It was like the very first week of freaking playing Zenith, like
mhm,
chopping like this that I haven't chopped ever, and then playing. I think I played like 60 hours, damn near straight that with that game, and
mhm.
oh my gosh, like all the way up here, like it hurt. Like I would try and play just to
Mhm.
try and finish, and like right in these little muscle areas, I'm just like, ow, ow, just die, just die.
You're hurting me.
Yeah.
But yeah, though, yeah, like when I played Zenith, it was all back here, like shoulders. And I feel like, I don't know, I have some nice shoulders, we'll say.
I
I
mean,
feel
as
like
as a
VR's
naked
good.
avatar, I mean, you could flex it all up right there.
My shoulders are more defined than this avatar for sure. They're kind of, I don't know, they might be a little scuffed, honestly. Oh, I can't show it because it loses tracking right here.
You're
That
cutting your
sucks.
you're cutting your avatar off of you're cutting it short.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like I mean, like games like Pop One, Zenith, and like I don't know, stuff like that is like almost pure shoulder. You can get some leg stuff like with a blast on, but there's not a whole lot of stuff for that. Pistol
Yeah,
Whip's a good leg one
um,
too.
yeah. The only thing that ever really introduces games is if you're playing a fitness app actual game. Um, um, what's it
Yeah,
one with the cubes? Why can I?
Beat Saber.
Yeah, Beat Saber has some legs into it. Depends on what difficulty you're in. Not too extreme, but you do have some things
Yeah.
you have to duck. Other than that, I mean, I haven't really seen any labor intensive game unless like you're a really hardcore onward contractors player, more onward than contractor. But onward,
hmm
you do a lot of squatting, getting on your knees,
Yeah, I'm
more than any other
prone.
game, going prone. Um, so, anyways, talking about contractors and onward. So that new game that came out, that
Oh, Alvo.
yeah. So I looked into it, and it's like Pavlov and contractors had a baby.
It's well, I don't know if I'd say that. I'd say it's like contractors, but more arcadey. It's literally Call of Duty is what it is. You know,
But you don't have to go prone in real life, do you? That game just lets you go prone, right?
I don't know if it lets you go prone or not. I know it lets you crouch, but I'm not sure. I think it lets you slide. So like if you're running and you crouch, you can
Nah, it's
slide.
all that.
Like in real life, you can slide.
Yeah, the
That's
sliding in
pretty
that.
fast.
Yeah, look, the sliding reminded me of the Call of Duty they made that was a futuristic one.
Like Advanced
Yeah,
Warfare or
I
a
think
later one.
no, I think it was the one that you could like even like run up the walls and stuff and like jump around the walls. I thought that was Advanced Warfare.
There's a few of those. There's Black Ops 3, and then there's also Infinite Warfare.
No, so yeah, it was just Advanced Warfare because they let you
Okay.
slide around like crazy in that game.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't, none of that stuff lasted very long, just because it
Yeah.
wasn't very true kind of boots to the ground stuff. But remember last podcast that we were talking about fishing?
Oh yeah, for real VR.
I got it. I've been catching a lot of fish.
Yeah. You liking it?
Oh yeah, it's pretty peaceful. Like when I got, if I'm just like waiting for something to happen, like I'll go in there catch a few fish, and there's like different difficulties and stuff. Like you have the very beginning thing where you can see all the fish and what bait they need, and then you get to the hardest
Mm-hmm.
one where you don't get to see you get to see like maybe the line tension, but you see no fish. So you're just like throwing out there, and you're just like reeled in. You're like, come on, fish, come on. Yeah, so I probably caught over like I think I caught probably close to 100 to 150 fish by now in the week that I played, maybe like 2 or 3 hours worth.
Mm-hmm.
I have a full fish tank now. It's pretty fun because I told you next tournament they have. I'm gonna try and enter it in, but I think I have to
Yeah.
have like a full maxed out tackle box. So I've been trying to slowly work my way to that. Like you can catch sharks in this
Mm-hmm.
game too, so I can't
Yeah.
wait to do that.
Yeah, maybe I should get it.
I like it. It's pretty fun.
We can go fishing.
Go,
VR
yeah.
jungle fishing episode.
You know that might work out.
You're like, I'm down.
That actually might work out. That actually might happen.
All right. We'll see we'll see what's up. Keep an eye out for VR jungle fishing episode. Is there a jungle level by any chance? Or
Uh,
like a Amazon
I don't
like
think anything. So right now, the only areas they have is it looked like it was South Korea is where you're fishing at the very beginning.
South Korea?
That's where it started out with, and so I believe it was South Korea is the main
Mm,
fishing locations, and then I think the second fishing location might have been North America, which I don't. Maybe the people that made it are from South Korea, and so they just
maybe.
I don't know.
That's interesting. That's an interesting choice. Let's see.
Yeah, so I believe it's South Korea, and then in order to go to North America, which I believe is North America, you have to spend another $11 on the DLC.
Oh, for North America?
Yeah.
Really? That's interesting. I'm seeing the locate. I'm looking it up right now, seeing the locations. But I did find the thing on the children that I was referring to, so I'll send that to you. It's yeah, basic gist is that it is it can mess with their coordination a little bit because of the
Really? Yeah, I'm pulling it up
yeah.
now. So it's neuroscience. So yeah, I mean it's actually published by
Yeah,
something.
I'm not entirely sure who Neuroscience News is, but I mean that's like the first thing that showed up. I'm sure there's like um other stuff backing it up. Maybe that is what I heard, I think we might have even talked about it on the podcast. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I mean I'm not doubting that it's messing with children's brain and stuff because even so they say that I don't know. I can't remember what it's called, but there's like something in our brain that's not fully developed until women at the age of 23, and then I think men it's not developed until we're like 28. That's why
Oh,
we're
are you talking about the prefrontal cortex?
yeah. And so there's a lot of things that have before that's developed, even like making decisions like voting. Like there's like people have argued that thing should probably be fully developed before we can actually make rational decisions on running uh, the world.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that's not necessarily what the article's talking about.
Oh, I know
The
that. Yeah, yeah.
articles, yeah, that's like the disconnect between your ears and your like the fluid in your ears and like the movement in VR, kind of what I was talking about. It
Mm-hmm.
kind of messes with them because they haven't been walking as much, so they're not as used to it. So it's less of a severe thing.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, a lot of people don't know this is that when we are developing, right, like our humans are like the pinnacle of what the meaning of trial and error is. Like the very that is because that's how our brain
Hmm.
works is just trial and error. So until the day that you're born, you will do things constantly, move your hands around until you actually get up and walk. But you'll keep on seeing a child fall, get up, fall, get up and fall. But
Right.
it's not going to hurt them because at that point in time they have a lot of more cushion. Like their like knees aren't fully developed. It's still like a freaking like sponge. They got extra padding pretty much where you can crawl without getting hurt. But while they're doing everything, their brain is just like that didn't work. All right, check it off the box. That one kind of worked. Okay, we're gonna put this one down, and then it's literally an algorithm running in our brain until next thing you know we're
Hmm.
walking. And so
Yeah.
imagine only playing VR baseball, and then you think you're amazing, and you go try out for middle school baseball, and you take a baseball straight to the face, right? Like in VR, like they're not even gonna move. It's gonna mess with their brain so much that they're gonna be used to like, oh yeah, that never hits me in VR. I know it hit me in the face, but it doesn't hurt, and they're just gonna not even flinch. It's just gonna go boom, and they're just gonna be like, okay, I just felt that.
I think I'm done with baseball for now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to VR baseball where I'm number one. Okay,
Have you ever been hit by a baseball?
plenty of times, dude.
That hurts.
Oh, I've been jacked in the face with the ball before.
Oh
I've
my
been
god.
I've been hit by fastballs that were going like 98 miles per hour to the shoulder. That was great.
Yeah.
I'd rather,
90?
yeah, dude. I was friends with a buddy of mine that could throw the ball pretty freaking fast, and
Mm-hmm.
I think by the time he was like in college, he was throwing the ball like upwards to being like professional level stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, there was one time, we were playing and it like slipped out of his hand and just like it felt like it crushed my shoulder. Like I thought I was done
Oh
for.
my
Like
goodness.
it hurt and I got massive bruise and um.
Ugh,
But I'd rather get hit in the shoulder and arm any day over being
in
hit.
the face.
I mean the face, yeah, face hurts. You don't want to catch anything with your face because usually that's where the money's made.
Yeah.
You can't have any.
Not to mention brain damage and all that messiness.
Yeah, luckily I didn't get it hit like when I got hit in the face with a ball. It wasn't like in my nose. It was
Mm-hmm.
like more like right here.
Like, yeah.
Because it wasn't like I got hit on like by baseball. I didn't know when you're younger that you weren't supposed to like catch a fly ball like this, and so when it caught it, it'll swoop up, and the force will come up and pop you right in the like either right in the top of the nose or right here in the chin. And I went to go catch it, and it flipped up and just goes like almost like someone just freaking punched me as hard as possible.
Yeah.
Felt great. Felt amazing. So yeah, that's another thing. But it's almost like the whole thing we were talking about a couple weeks ago about is VR affecting our eyesight. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
things since VR, even though VR has technically been around since the '80s, it hasn't been really played as much as been played within the past, like say, let's go extreme 10 years, but mainly the past 5 years. A lot of people have been picking it up more. But so this year was the record sales for Oculus headsets,
Mm-hmm.
and that's only going to go up because if they have one record sales, all their friends want to get it. They'll keep on having record sales until it becomes just a household
Yeah.
item.
Yeah.
Um, but now, if you start thinking about the next 10 to 20 years there, where they can actually start doing studies, I think you can't really do studies on like the human brain and the effects of things until it's like been used for 50 to 80 years.
Yeah, that's probably true. maybe not that long, but yeah, it would definitely take some time
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
almost like just like talking about human brain and stuff. It's like we didn't know what CTE was until they dissected that football player's brain, and they're like, dude, like this guy had like some mental things going on in his head, but it wasn't because he was born with it, it's because he was tackled a lot,
Mhm.
and then it
Yeah.
scared a lot of people. Why can I not remember what his name is? But he murdered his whole family.
Oh damn. I don't know who that was.
Man, I
I have
wanna
no clue. Let's
um,
see.
let me see if I can't find it. But yeah, he murders his whole family, and they found out he was. They dissected his brain, and then that's where they figured out what CTE was. I wish we
Let's
had
see.
people in chat because I
CTE.
know a whole bunch of football players are probably screaming at
Did
this.
he shoot himself?
Yes, he shot himself afterwards.
Is it Junior Sue or something like that?
Junior
I don't
Santos.
know.
Oh, let me see if I can get his face.
Sue Junior. Let's see.
All right,
I
so
don't know. Maybe he's
just
just some other
Google
football
it
player.
with CTE. Look for the player with
Philip
CTE.
Adams,
No, that doesn't sound familiar.
ex-NFL, who killed 6 people. Oh,
So
God.
yeah, but that's just another story of that. But he wasn't the very first one. Man, why is it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose my.
Jeez.
I'm gonna lose my freaking. There he is, Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez.
They have a
Okay.
documentary about it and everything. It's if you haven't seen the documentary, you like documentaries. It is a very interesting one because the guy was acting normal, and yeah, he was like he's the reason why people know what CTE is to this day.
Okay.
I think you can find it on Netflix. Very interesting if you have not seen it, but it scared a lot of people. It made a lot of like moms not want their sons
Kids to
playing
play
football.
football.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why they changed a lot of rules. So when I was, I played college soccer, and I played soccer all through
Mhm.
my life, and there was no problem with us heading the ball, headbutting each other. Nothing. I think not even until you're in like almost high school are you allowed to head the ball anymore,
Yeah. Yeah,
just
I mean,
because
I
of
don't know.
CTE.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of just that's I know that's kind of off topic, but that's just how weird the brain is. Like there's like comedians out there that were born completely normal, got hit by a car or something weird, and then
Hmm.
became the comedian they are now because that brain damage made them a little crazy psychotic typeness and it made them comical. I'm not even joking. Like Joe Rogan on his
Yeah.
podcast talks about it all the time. And so the the
Hmm.
the woman that played Roseanne, like that's what happened to her. She got hit by a
Roseanne.
car. And she goes, yeah, she was normal. She got hit by a car, and then she became a little nutty, and that's what made her such, a good comedian.
Hmm.
Yeah, so very interesting.
If you
Uh,
want to be funny, get hit by a car, everyone. That's the moral of the story right there.
I
Just
yeah,
kidding.
I seriously think there's like 3 or 4 comedians out there that were literally hit by cars, and it made them who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see.
that's like taking advantage of like getting um, like some type of chemical on you and turning into like the Sandman.
Or getting bitten by a spider and becoming
Exactly,
Spider-Man.
exactly. So, talking about, the last thing we really have on our agenda, 2 things on our agenda, and we should have done at the beginning of the
Hmm.
show, but I think
Oh yeah.
is that what grinds our gears. We want to bring
We
a new
almost forgot
segment
it again.
because
At least I
I had to go into the esports stuff. So next week, if you're still watching this, it'll be more in the beginning of the show than the end of the show.
Yep.
But we want to do what grinds our gears really quick in the VR world or anything that can grind your gears.
Hmm.
Like if you got a small big toe, that grinds your gears. Go ahead and say you get a small big toe. But if you have anything that grinds your gears, people that are listening or watch this. Put in the comments. I want to hear your weekly
Hmm.
grind your gears too in the comments. Like I think that'd be hilarious reading people's grind my gears. And then
Maybe
after,
we could shout some of them out. We could read
exactly,
some
I would
grind
love to shout
gear
them out.
grinding.
And then maybe even I'll even do a thing, to get the Discord chatting. Maybe I'll do a thing a couple days before we do the podcast, and just say,
Hmm.
"Hey, what's your weekly grind your gears? If we like it, we'll read it." and maybe we'll talk about that topic. Give us something to talk about. That sounds fun.
Yeah, for sure.
And then once we get done with that, then we're going to talk about some of the few new games that are coming out. There's only two I want to touch base on. The other ones are PCVR, and the other one I really don't know about. But I want you to go first.
For what grinds my gears?
For what grinds my gears? What grinds your gears this week?
This week, it's not necessarily this week, but I couldn't think of anything too good right now. So I'm just gonna call out the Impulse Gear devs from Larcenauts. What grinds my gears is that they do not listen to the community at all. And it's a joke that they have some things that they haven't fixed since day one that people have been complaining about since like a weekend, It's just,
keep it going. You're dropping a bomb right now.
I mean, like, people are literally quitting the game because the devs are so bad, Like, yeah. I quit. For anyone who doesn't know, I quit the Larcenauts team because I'm done playing that game, It's trash. Like.
Yeah, and then
they don't care. They don't care.
And it's not only that; it's that's a learning lesson for a lot of people. When it comes to making games, it's like if you don't listen to the actual people that play the game every day. Like I played that game religiously every freaking day, and I would keep on mentioning things that need to be changed, and I would only get back. It's fine. It's how it's gonna be. It's like the notoriety thing. That thing could have been thrown out from the very get-go. I understand that they made a game and they're proud of it. There's nothing wrong with being proud of the game. Just like, hey, we're gonna keep this in, but we will look for alternate, things.
Right.
And maybe they'll find a way to adapt their coding that they want, because they don't want to just completely trash the coding system they've been spending a year or two on. I get that. But at the same time, if it's a failed system, then it's a failed system. There's so many better ways to do a notoriety system or an MMR system, which MMR system works way better than a notoriety system, because that's actually based off of stats, and the notoriety was based off of playing time, which
pretty much
is not correct. And there's like some other devs that I know in other games. It's like Knock. I went there and I said, hey, I'm having horrible connection issues. They blame me for having the connection issues. Sorry, it's not me. I play games at a very high level, and I stream the games as well. I've never been kicked out of the game as many times as I've been kicked out of the game. I know that they say they got these advanced graphics and all this stuff. If you have the advanced physics, I know the graphics aren't to the T. Then maybe you need to figure out that on the Quest and start with PCVR first and figured out the ping issue when it came to Quest. That's a thing. So you got anything else to add with your grinding gears before I get to my grind my gears? I don't know what to say.
I think you can go ahead. I don't know. Basically, Larcenauts devs, your game is a joke.
Said it true on VR Jungle. When we talk about grinding our gears, I was wondering how spicy this was gonna get.
This is getting silly. Call out devs.
And it's getting spicy, calling people out. My dog's looking at me like, dang, Pickle Osters just dropped a naked bomb on their face.
A naked bomb.
Let's go ahead. What were you gonna say?
That game is just so fundamentally flawed that it's just.
I really liked it. I really did until I didn't, and I think that's the same thing with Zenith. I liked it until they made decisions that I didn't like, and that whole thing where I have to play with a group of people was it. That was a game ender for me. Like, not for me. Let's see what grinds my gears, especially this week. I think the biggest thing that grinds my gears is. When it comes to people being on teams, is that once one thing flaws, is that they will just pick up and leave. That really grinds my gears, especially when it's just criticism. I think that's the biggest thing, is criticism, and the fact that I feel another thing that grinds my gears is that anytime someone anymore with VR, especially when it comes to esports and organization,
Yeah.
the biggest thing I get asked is, "What do I get out of you?" And man, if I had $1 for someone trying to get something out of me, I'm like, look, like I'm trying to build an esports organization to give you something, to eventually give you something. But then it's like right off the bat, it's like you haven't even showed me anything, because there was one team where I gave them quite a bit of stuff from the organization to get them advanced, and they didn't even. I think the whole team like crumbled up before they even started a season.
Oh.
Yeah, that
I don't
grinds
know
my
if you
gears.
should say what
I'm
team.
not. No.
I'm curious.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna say the
You
team.
can tell me after
I'll
the
tell
show.
you. I'll tell you after the show. I'm not gonna put a whole
Not
bunch of
gonna
people
call
on
anyone
blast.
out,
No,
yeah.
yeah, I don't. I'm not gonna call people out that are because then there's more people are asking me for stuff like, you did this for that team. I'm like, no. That's why I don't do it anymore, because I used to, and I just feel like I just get crapped on every single time I do it, and so it's like, until we
Yeah.
actually have full-fledged teams doing proper game style, proper gameplay. And another thing is that what it comes really hard with is that VR is the hardest platform to stream on, and you
Yeah.
can't dim down a player just because they can't stream. But a lot of the profits that an organization will ever get is depending on
Right.
how many people can actually put content out. And I think that's our biggest struggle right now, is just finding good content creators that are also team players, because a lot of VR content creators, and I don't care if they want to come at me, but a lot of them are assholes, and it's a true statement. They
I
are.
mean, I don't disagree.
Some of them are really cool. I like a few of them. I do
Mhm.
VR content creating, but a lot of the ones that I see are a lot of the people that are toxic in a lot of these discords, and I'm like, geez, I'm just like, how can you have such a community built off of just being an ass? And
Who
that's
knows? Maybe it's part of the formula. It's a secret sauce. You gotta just sprinkle in a little bit of ass.
yeah, that's only in VR. Like I get it, being cocky in like a pancake game like Fortnite and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at Ninja. Like, when he first started, reason why people watched him is because he was toxic. But now he's
Right.
so big, and people are going back to that. And now he's like got this political stance that he's got to watch what he says. And like, if he slipped up and said the N word back when he was freaking 20, that people will find that. People literally spent their whole entire day digging through all his
Looking
shit,
for
and just looking for dirt. And there's a whole bunch of time where you can find skits of Ninja just freaking screaming at little kids, calling them
Yeah.
nerds and dweebs.
The
And
fuck you say to me, you
yeah,
little shit?
yeah. And so I think that's just where we're at VR right now, is that we have these content creators that think that's the winning formula, is to get to say horrible things, do stupid things to get people to watch them. Because I think that people like watching a clown juggle balls. That's basically what's happening until they actually get good. Because I know players that stream that are people watch them because they want to learn from them, not to watch them be a fool of themselves.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. There's this one VR content creator that he plays PCVR, and he'll get on like a skateboard and shit and do like kick flips or go onto like a yoga ball and like
Yeah,
try.
we need to find his name, because you bring him up like
I
every
do, because I
episode.
freaking
know who you're
he.
talking about.
I have to find him, because I'll put him in the description. I don't know if he does stuff.
He's like the Deadpool guy.
Oh,
Like he put on the Deadpool costume, right? Sometimes.
I know there's a guy on TikTok I saw the other day that was outside and was like jumping on his trampoline and like did a whole front flip and then landed. But no, the Deadpool guy, he has some pretty interesting stuff. And there's another person that I really like watching, and he's just he's on TikTok. I'll have to maybe find something for him, but it's called VR Prankster or something like that. I think I've talked about him on here before.
I think so, yeah.
And like he's like not a he's just going around being a little VR prankster. That's all. He's not being a jerk. He's not saying bad things to people. He'll just go up to him and just be like, "Hey, you want to go over here and see this? Come over here and see this." Or he'll go into Horizon's like comedy section and like do some like goofy comedy, and it's he just does dumb stuff. But it's nothing that I look at him like, oh, he's being an asshole to people.
Right. Is the guy we're talking about, is that Chris Quits Reality? Is that him?
It might be. The name sounds familiar.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm like on his YouTube right now.
Ooh, my cup is going. Whoa.
Oh jeez. I know I did a hardcore shrill there. I heard that.
Where's my cup? Throw my face away.
Sorry if I blew out anyone's ears with that. But
Nope, it still sees my face, so it goes here going?
You're just messing with your green screen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
See if it would make my face go green screen. Yeah, so that's pretty much what grinds my gears with a whole bunch of stuff is I just wish we had better content out there. And I think a lot more people would watch stuff if people were more realistic when it came to things. But other than that, I mean, but there's so many games out there in VR that the only players that are really out there, like I think that when it comes to views and stuff like that, I think Population 1 at most given time, unless one of those crappy streamers paid for their stuff, but I know a couple of them that pay for their streams. Well, streamers, I don't know if they do it anymore. They used to.
What do you mean?
There used to be a couple
like
of them.
botting?
Yeah, they would actually go and get people to ramp it up at the same time that they would post for like only like an hour to 2 hours to get more people in there.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if they do anymore because I think a couple of them got.
So they
got
pay
caught
for
on it.
raids or hosts or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and
Gotcha.
so that was always an interesting thing. But average right now on like Population 1 in most games is like one person might bring in like 20, 30 views at a time. And
Right. That's like on the high end of things. I don't know. When I used to stream it every day, it was like 100 viewers, a day.
really?
Half of them go on Vape Life, yeah, and then the other half are just random smaller ones. Let's see. Right now it's at 90, so I think it's about the same. Yeah.
Well, I know that Belpew, I think that's how you say it, from
I think
our
it's
team.
Valpo.
Valpo? Yeah, I think
so.
someone corrected me on that before. But so I know she can reckon quite a good amount of people watching her stuff, but she's also got good content. She's not being a jerk. She's not doing anything, and she plays the game legit. And
Right, she's good.
mhm.
She's on the team. Like she's not a bad player by
Yeah,
any means.
and that's why like I don't think she plays any type of league play, but we literally have her and like a couple other people for just content. To help kind of actually show like, hey, Havoc's whole thing is to be non-toxic, right? And so let's have non-toxic streamers, and she fit the cover of that right there. So it's like, hey, just play Population 1, be good at it, and and meet some people, and say, hey, yeah, I'm part of Havoc, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know she'll bring in some. And there's a few other that I know that I know Slaughter can also bring in a few people, especially when he used to play a lot of Population 1. He's now
Yeah, he used to be cracked. He used to be he was probably the best player at one point.
yeah, wasn't he in the first tournament with us? Was that Slaughter?
He was in the Hunt League, but he wasn't Sunday Funday, if that's what you're talking about.
No, that one time where I did Hunt League, and I versed you.
No, that was Hey It's Finn.
Okay, that's okay. I do remember him too, but but he's only on. I don't know if Slaughter still does Population 1. He's on our contractors team now, and
really?
I don't know if he's doing content for there, but I believe he should be. I don't think he's ever stopped doing content.
Yeah.
So that was Grind is My Gear. Like I said, we'll definitely probably message in the comments. I'll look out for those. If not, you can join our Discord, and I'm probably gonna ask people a couple days before, like what grinds your gears. I don't know if I really will take on too many people's political stances, just because that can get really grimy and very interesting.
I don't think we'll do anything political. That's too messy.
Not like I mean like VR politics, not like actual.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about if they come in and say, what grinds my gears is that Vortex took over Hexakill. I'm not gonna say anything about that because they don't know the true situation. As like that didn't really happen. They did it out of their own benefits between each other. But I can see people like, what grinds my gears is how sucky VR Jungle is. I might read that one out. I actually probably would read that one out. I would say who said it too.
Yeah.
But anyways, let me switch over to the desktop thing. The last thing we're going to go over is the new games that are coming out for April. This is from Upload. They do a whole bunch of articles. If you want to kind of dive into these, watching the trailers for these, you can head over to the link from our description. Upload. They know they do a lot of good VR stuff. That's why we have them on here a lot, because it's a pretty well written article. So we have the Under President's live performance April 1st. That looks like it's not a game. It's actually so you want to explain that? What is that?
Yeah, I've had it. It's this game where they actually hire real actors to do live performances in game, you know. And like,
Really?
I think they haven't done it in a while, so this is probably somewhat of a big deal, you know, that because they used to throw these shows for people to watch, you know, with these characters, and they do like, you know, kind of cool stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. I might. Oh wait, never mind. Is that April 1st? Oh,
Yeah.
we might have missed it actually.
Yeah, it's April 4th.
Yeah. All right. It looks like we missed it. So, oh.
Yeah. So that's the one thing I don't like about like Quest. Like they don't ever have this on the front center page unless I miss it. But I don't ever typically see anything that's live performed or anything, which is kind of weird. I saw some stuff about Green Hall. A lot of people don't know what this is. Green Hell. Oh, what the hell? Green Hell. It says Quest 2. But I didn't think, when I was reading about this, isn't this the sim game that it's going to be a survival sim game type thing?
I believe so. I
only read it's going to be PC VR.
Huh? It already says it's on PC VR.
Oh, so it's moving the Quest 2 version.
Yeah, so this is like a port, I believe.
Okay. So I saw it, you know, as long as it's a interesting one. If it's like Ark, I think a lot of people would like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's probably not too different from that. I've played a couple survival type of games in VR, like The Forest, and The Forest it seemed like it would be a good game, but the tutorial was completely unintuitive in VR. I feel like it was better in flat, and I didn't play the flat version, so.
Yeah. And so they have MetaQuest Gaming Showcase coming up April 20th. So we have not missed that. That is coming up, which is probably just showing what all their games that are probably coming within the next.
Yeah, there was like the 5 or so games from the people who made Arizona Sunshine, and after the fall they might announce something like that. They could announce, you know, more on San Andreas VR, the GTA port. So that could be interesting to keep an eye on. We'll report on that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. The two that I wanted to talk about the most was the Little Cities and then Cities VR, which is kind of interesting. But it's kind of funny because I don't know if they tried to fight for like who could release the stuff first, but I know that just because I know Cities who make Cities, they've been making games, you know, since early 2000s, if not even before that. I think the first SimCity, was like 98 maybe?
I don't think it's SimCity.
I'm almost positive.
Maybe they have some devs, but Cities Skylines is a different team.
You think it's a different team?
It might have some vets. Let me check, but
this right here.
It's not like My Sims. Or like Sims. Or
no. I know it's not like Sims, but there used to be. So this reminds me. The way that I saw the video was it's like Sims, SimCity Mobile. It's Cities Mobile, basically what it is.
It's not the same franchise as The Sims, is what I'm trying to say. It's a different thing.
So it's a spin-off of the popular Skylines game that brings many of its core mechanics to Quest 2. So whatever Skylines is, I've never heard of that.
Cities Skylines is a PC game.
Okay.
I think it's like a spiritual successor to SimCity.
So, but it's funny that they have these games out, and there's a game that you can actually get on SideQuest right now that you're pretty much like God. I can't remember what it's called, but I played it. It was like $10 on SideQuest, and maybe once I can pull it off and show it. But you literally have to like feed them. You have to like give water. You can like you can really, but you have to pretty much take them from living as the Stone Age all the way
Mm-hmm.
up into the most futuristic city ever. And I sat there for hours. Like when they get sick, you got to like fix them and all this stuff, and you have to like figure out how to get their power there. And it's like once the cities evolve, like you'll have this Egyptian city compared to this like our more Western society, and you have to
Mm-hmm.
find a way like, oh, why am I not getting any this weird material? Well, then you find out that you have to get it from Egypt, and they're not trading yet, so you have to find a way for them to get a trade port going on. It gets crazy, and like
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know what you're doing, like you're just some like random kid on there, like I got to the most futuristic thing that I could possibly get it to before they needed to do an update. But
Mm-hmm.
it was pretty fun. I'll have to figure out the name of that one. Um,
Yeah,
so they
that
have,
sounds cool.
yeah, it's a simple name. Once we get done talking about this, while we kind of close that, I'll bring it up. But they have ult- ultralings. You know how to say that?
Ultra Wings.
Wow,
Yeah, it's
literature.
like, huh?
I said literature. Good.
You,
Dude,
you're
like
struggling a
that
little
dude
bit with
that
pronunciation.
literally just now that you said it, I see the word. But
Yeah.
the first time I saw it, I'm just like, nope. Okay.
You're like, is this German or something? No.
Wow.
Yeah. So that game's like it's like a airplane sim type of thing, and I guess it has helicopters because it shows it in the thumbnail. But yeah, basically you just fly around planes. I think it was supposed to come out earlier, but it got delayed, so
Got you.
it'll be yeah,
And then the
it'll
last one
be
on here is another PCVR game called Requisition VR.
I have no idea what this is,
It
honestly.
looks like some type of zombie game. It says, yeah, Hinge
Yeah.
developer Arcadia is back with a new zombie survival game with co op support. But I don't really go too much into PCVR games. I don't think that, I think it's a bad model anymore to go only PCVR. This is not the way the world's turning. I know you can get a really beautiful game. I get it. I get the developers
Mhm.
that they go for the best thing that they think that would make their masterpiece, and that is PCVR. I
Right.
get it, but if you actually want to remain in the world of VR and actually make some type of money, yeah, I'm sorry, but you have to make a shittier game for Quest.
I
you know?
mean, yeah, I mean there's exceptions, but yeah, it definitely helps having oh, that's cool. I'm watching the trailer and the dude. Okay, so you know what it is? This is like Dead Rising, but for VR. This dude literally put a knife in the toaster and then shot it out at a zombie. So actually, that's pretty cool. But yeah, no. Anyways, I mean, for some games they do okay on PC VR. Like I think Into the Radius is like doing well. I mean, there's obvious stuff like Skyrim and Fallout VR,
Yeah,
and I mean, but yeah, those are already successful games. And I mean, even with Quest, you can play Steam VR with your Quest, but it is definitely more people have Quest than they have PC VR, so you do make a lot more money. But yeah, that's actually pretty cool that this dude like taped a plunger to the same toaster and then smacked them with it like a hammer. So
yeah,
I actually, the I'll be honest, the like logo and stuff look kind of crappy, but actually seeing the gameplay, this might actually be pretty fun, to mess around with.
yeah.
It's like Blades and Sorcery. You can mess around in a sandbox maybe. It's kind of close. Oh, and it has co-op support, so that's cool too.
Yeah, I was reading that as well. It's got co-op. So I wonder if it's gonna be comparable to like Arizona, Sunshine.
I think, from the looks of it, the zombies kind of look dumb, but you can like, I don't know. It seems like it has a cool sand, like it just looks like a cool sandbox where you can do lots of whatever. It's still a bit of an ugly game, I'll be honest. The textures are pretty ugly, but it could be cool.
Yeah, I definitely. There's a game I don't know. It could have been that one because I don't think that game's out. But there is a TikTok that I was watching something because you get to see a lot of funny clips, especially some of the older ones, like when the people used to do the drunken bar fight stuff.
Oh yeah.
Or like there is like this one where they're in contractors and they're just like trying to like, okay, we're just gonna be, I'm your tour guide until as long as I live, I'm gonna teach you how to do this. And all of a sudden it's like, and the other guy goes, all right, well I'm now the tour guide, so I'm gonna try and show you guys where you're going. And they're just like constantly taking over the tour guide as they're killing each other, which is really funny. But there's this guy in this zombie game, and I wish I could find like things like TikTok to show on here because I don't think there's anything copyrighted like YouTube. Like if I show too much of a YouTube video, it gets canceled. Like I get kicked off YouTube. But there's a TikTok where the guy is in the zombie land just whistling, having a good time, throws like a knife at one zombie, then takes his gun, flings it up, and just jumping around, catches the gun, and looks at him, just like shoots one right in the head, then just dances away, and it's like, yeah, this is pretty funny.
Yeah.
So I found the game that I was talking about. It is, let me go to desktop view. It's called Deism, Deisim.
Yeah, that's probably right.
So he has a 1.1 million creator score, which is pretty cool. I don't know if they did an update recently, but they have it where you have hours of gameplay that you can already play. I think it like costs $10 is how much I paid for it. It's on App Labs, so you can actually you don't have to get it through side quests. You can actually find it on your quest. Okay, cool. So you can actually type it in. It's an App Lab game. I just do everything through side quests because you get to see their videos, you get to see the descriptions, you get to see other people. Sometimes they post people that actually played the game and then put their kind of point of view on it. So yeah, I love side quests. If you don't have it, definitely recommend it. It's probably the best thing out there for some type of side app type thing.
You can play a lot on side quests. You can play like Quake and like Doom in VR too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I really like that. So that game is really fun, but you don't get to build the buildings and like get to pick at where it's going. It's just like, hey, if you put this type of tree and this type of animal here, you're probably gonna get like a Western civilization. But then if you put like a snake here and then like maybe like palm trees, then you're gonna get more of an Egyptian type of look. But you have to have every single culture. So there is like a Chinese culture, an Egyptian culture, a Western civilization culture, and then there might be one more I'm missing, but you have to have all of them because each one of them makes separate materials. And so I thought that was pretty interesting. It's a cool concept, fun to play, and then if you really want to, which I don't like to do it, but you can actually have tornadoes go through there. You can take a meteor, you can just crash the meteor in there. Aliens come every once in a while and start picking people up, but if you take the alien ship, and just a little key thing for people, but if you actually crash the alien ship later down the road, they'll start taking that alien ship, and it helps them build a very final future, technological age. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, and so you can actually make like different humans. So like at some point, like these people are struggling, you can take a little scientist dude and plop him in, and next thing you know, these guys are advancing. Like this guy just like, hey, you're about to make the light bulb. Check this out. Here's solar panels all of a sudden.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty well thought out game.
Oh yeah, there's other PC games that were just like it back in the day that I really enjoyed. But we can kind of wrap this up. I knew that even though we said that we didn't have much to talk about, we just keep going, and that's the good thing about you and I, that our dynamic is on point. We can
just ramble forever if we're allowed to.
Yeah, why not? Why not? This is why and like Monday, it's like, yeah, I get done with work, I get done with working out, and then I can sit down here, and then I'll just relax the rest of the day. Like Sundays, I'm like, man, I gotta clean, I gotta mow.
Yeah.
I prefer this way better. Like, and I'm also always typically hungover on a Sunday, which makes it also even worse. But Monday,
Makes podcasting a little hard.
yeah.
Getting
But now
hungover.
Mondays, I'm always fresh to go, and I'm peachy. So
Mhm.
other than that, we'll see what comes out this week. I'm
Yep.
about to sneeze. Um, and then hopefully people. Wow, that's like stuck in my nose. Hopefully people, if you're listening to this and you want like some certain segment, I know we do the news, and then
Mhm.
when the news gets dry, I would like to have something. I know eventually I would like
Backup.
to, yeah, like some backup. I would eventually like to find some type of devs that we like playing their game, kind of pick their game.
Mhm.
And it all depends on the dev on how we're gonna bring them in. Like sometimes people don't want to be through our whole entire spiel of esports, but I'm about to
Right.
get to the point. Just like you're just gonna have to deal with it, buddy. You're gonna have to just deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? We could have them show up for the first half. Oh man, I keep yawning. But they could show up for first half. We
Yeah,
talk, and then we can get into esports and
yeah.
all the league play.
So I'll probably be looking into that and then develop this thing to have a third person. We can do
Mm.
that. But other than that, you have anything closing up really quick before we get out of here?
Um, Not really. Just have fun. Play the Risk of Rain 2 VR mod because that's a good mod. And take care, guys.
Take care. You can find us all on social media. I have Twitch. Pickle has Twitch.
YouTube.
You have
I don't
YouTube.
really use Twitch anymore, honestly. I'm gonna be making a couple animations coming up though, so
Yeah.
keep an eye out.
So be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna probably have to find the. I believe I already have your YouTube in the link in the description. If not,
I think
then
so.
I believe I should. But I believe I have all of your stuff on there. If you see this
Hmm.
shirt right here, this is the VR Jungle shirt. You can actually go and purchase this. It helps us support things. Maybe we'll put some clothes on this naked man. Maybe give him a better backdrop. I know that I am still looking for a voice actor. I keep forgetting to do that. I don't know why I keep doing that,
Yeah.
but I want to eventually throw an intro in. So yeah, come help us, support us. Go watch all of Havoc dominating throughout the esports world, and
Sure.
everyone have a great rest of your week. See you next Monday.
Yep. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.